Hello YouTube, today I'm back again with another collection video, and I wanted to do a video actually yesterday, and I would have done a video yesterday, but my internet kept cutting out and stuff, so it was just really bad, so I never really got a chance to, and I decided that this video would be better anyways. I wanted to start off by saying I want to thank all my subscribers. I just passed 150 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. I never thought I'd have this many people watching my content, but it really makes me happy to know that people find my content entertaining. So today we're going to be going through one of my smaller collections. I don't really collect for it that actively. This is my original Game Boy collection. This is not my handheld of choice. My handheld of choice is the Game Gear, and I have a lot more games for that. So before I get into this, let me know in the comment box below if you would rather see my Game Gear collection next or my Game Boy Advance collection next. They're both bigger than this, but just let me know which one you'd rather see. Alright, so let's get right into the collection. First game that I have is Wario Land 2, one of my favorite platformers for the system. It's a really great game. I actually got stuck at one part, and I got really far though. I haven't played it in a while. Next is an okay platformer, is Kirby's debut in Kirby's Dream Land. It's an okay platformer. It's not as fun as the newer Kirby games, but it's okay. Another one of my favorite platformers is Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Really fun platformer. You know, it's basically like, they basically were trying to, I think this game originally started off as trying to port Super Mario World to the Game Boy, and it ended up becoming its own thing, if I remember correctly, that's what happened. So, that's a really cool game. Next is a pretty classic game. I think everyone should have one of these games in their collection of Game Boy games. Pokémon Red version. Everyone knows this game. It's a classic RPG for the Game Boy, and it is super popular. Even to this day, it's super popular. And so Pokémon Red is actually my favorite one, because it's my favorite color. Next is probably my favorite beat-em-up for the Game Boy. I love this game. I play it so much. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan. Great beat-em-up game. I really like the fact that you can just pick out any level you want. So you can pick out your favorite levels if you've already beat the game, or you can start from the beginning and just go through all of them. Really cool. You can play as all of the turtles. Pretty good game. Pretty good beat-em-up. Next is Pokemon Blue version. Same deal as the red version, except with a couple different Pokemon. A lot of it's the same, but just a couple different Pokemon. Here's another really good platformer. Super Mario Land. This is a pretty good platformer. It's not as good as, say, Mario Land 2, or Wario Land 2 is like the best. But yeah, so this is an okay platformer. It's good if you don't have any other platformers on the system. You can find that game really cheap too. Next is a RPG. Is Final Fantasy Legend 2. I love Final Fantasy, as most of you probably know if you've watched my videos. I'm trying to get every Final Fantasy, and it's just a great series. I can't wait to get the rest of them, so yeah. Then we also have Final Fantasy Legend 1. This is the first Final Fantasy, I believe, that was on the Game Boy. Really good game. I highly recommend it if you are into RPGs and you have a Game Boy. I need to get Final Fantasy Legends 3 and then Adventures, and then I'll have all of them for the Game Boy at least. Next, we have another Pokemon game. Pokemon Yellow Edition, and it's the special Pikachu one. This one is basically, it has both the rosters, it has all the Pokemon from Blue and Red, and then it also has a couple exclusive Pikachus. I think you can get Surfing and Flying Pikachu in this. So, yeah, really cool. And Pikachu follows you around because he's your starter, and you can like talk to him and stuff. It's a pretty cool game. Probably one of the most iconic games for the Game Boy. Everyone needs to have this in their Game Boy collection. If you don't, you are missing out, and it's a really cheap game too. Tetris. In my personal opinion, this is still today the definitive version of Tetris. I will not really play any other version of Tetris except for this one. This one is the best, and I love this game. It's amazing. I'm really good at Tetris too. Alright, and now we go on to these. Next we have a very graphically impressive platformer, Donkey Kong Land. Really, really graphically impressive. I really enjoy this game. It does a really good job of emulating the Donkey Kong Country games. I still need to get Donkey Kong Land 2 and 3 though, but this one's really good. It's kind of easy though. Next we have Star Wars for the Game Boy. It's an okay game. It's not too good. It's like a action platformer. It's okay. Next is another action platformer. Is Bart versus the Juggernauts. This is a pretty good one. If you're a big Simpsons fan, this is a really good action platformer to check out. Next is a pretty iconic game. Metroid 2: Return of Samus. You know, it's a Metroid game, so it's an adventure platformer. So you're going through basically trial and error, trying to find the way through the maze, and it's pretty good. I'm not a big Metroid fan though, so I'm not a huge fan of this game. I'm more of a fan of this game actually. Is Bionic Commando for the Game Boy. Excellent port from the NES version. I've not played a whole lot of the NES version. I don't own the NES version, so I can't tell you how close of a port this is, but it's pretty good. I like Bionic Commando. Next one is an okay game. It's Mickey Mouse Magic Wands. I haven't played this in a long time, and it's I think this is like a puzzle platformer. It's okay. It's not super intense or anything, but it's okay. Next is a decent platformer. It's not amazing. Wario Land, first one, and it's okay. It's definitely doesn't compare to the sequel, but this one is a bit. This one's a lot easier than the second one. So, yeah. Next is a game I've played quite a bit as well. Is Monopoly for the Game Boy. This is a pretty good version of Monopoly. I really like this one. I've played this quite a bit in a couple car rides, and it also has Link Play. Never had a chance to try Link Play because I've never seen anybody else who had Monopoly for the Game Boy, but I actually liked this because you don't have to set up everything. The one thing I never liked about playing Monopoly. Next is another RPG, and it's actually a really good action RPG. Is James Bond 007. This is kind of like a Zelda clone, except you're playing as James Bond, which is actually really fun. I really enjoyed this game. It's pretty long too, so it's really cool. I like this game a lot. Definitely worth checking out if you're a Zelda fan or just an RPG fan in general. Next, we have Pokemon Gold. This is the second generation Pokemon. This is actually a Game Boy Color game technically, but it can also be played in a Game Boy. That's why it's in the original Game Boy case. Really cool game. Same deal with the next game, which is Pokemon Silver. I didn't play these as much as the original. The originals are still my favorite, especially Yellow. I loved Yellow, and so I don't really play these as much. Next is I can't really remember this. I haven't played a whole bunch of it, but it's the Smurfs. I remember it's a decent game, but it's eh. And then we have Super RC Pro-Am. This is a really cool version. This is actually a port. It's not the same game, but it's like basically they ported over the same engine and stuff onto the Game Boy for RC Pro-Am. And this is actually a really good, fun game. I think this was the first Game Boy game I've had. It's been a long time. I've had this game forever, but a really fun game. It's pretty difficult as you keep going, but I really enjoyed it. It's a very arcade-style racing game. And last is my only duplicate. I actually found this game on the ground, and it's in really, really bad shape. Like, I kid you not, I was walking on the sidewalk, right? And I looked down in the mud. I was like, is that a Game Boy cartridge? So I was like, I was with my buddy, and he's like, I think so. So I went and I picked it up, and I found a copy of Pokemon Silver version. So I went home, I cleaned it up. It doesn't have the security screw in it, and the reason why is when I opened it up, somebody tried to replace the battery, and I'm not sure if they failed or they ruined the board, but either way, yeah, they definitely tried to replace the battery, because this is not the original battery, and they can see the solder right there. Very poor soldering job, so they didn't really know exactly what they were doing, which is a big problem when you're trying to do this kind of stuff. Game still works though, and it still just doesn't save, so I'm guessing somebody got like frustrated when they couldn't replace the battery, and they just threw it outside or something. I don't know. But, you know, free Game Boy game. It works. It just doesn't save. And I'm not sure if I'm eventually going to fix it if I can. I'm not sure how much damage they did to the board. But, yeah, that's my entire Game Boy collection. That's pretty much it. It's not too much. Like I said, my Game Gear collection is much, much bigger. I love the Game Gear. So let me know what you guys would rather see. If you'd rather see my Game Boy Advance collection next or my Game Gear collection. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you to all 152 subscribers, I think. Is it? I really thank you for watching my content. You know, leave a comment in the box below. I'll respond to all my comments. And thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.